Welcome to how to make a histogram with your TI-8384 graphing calculator. So if you haven't done already, go get your calculator because you're going to need it. This is a sing-along with Mike sort of thing. Our first move, well, I'm kind of ahead of you here, is to press your Stat key. And from your Stat key, you're going to go into the first menu option, which is Edit. Okay. Once you get in here, what you're going to do is hit the up arrow, get on top of the list names, and scroll all the way over to L6. When you get to L6, bump it one more time to the right, and it'll pop open a brand new list for you. Now, since this is a list of data we're going to want to keep, it's not just disposable data, we're going to name it. So we're going to call it AGE for the age data from the Monday, Wednesday, Friday, face-to-face section. Hit an enter. Notice it pastes that name into the header of the list. Okay. Hit a down arrow, and now you're in the actual body of the list. Okay, I went a little fast there, so if you need to do this, you can rewind and watch that a couple more times to make sure you get it. Okay. From here, we want to go ahead and enter in our numbers. So let's go ahead and do that. So let's type them in. So we've got 22, enter, 30, enter, 45, enter, 33, 33, 20, 18, 20, 21, 34, 33, 54, 16, 19, 26, 20, and then we're down to 16, 16, 26, 40, 20, 17, 24, 21, 25, 23, 22, 21, 32, 19, 36, 26, 29, 21, 18, 18, 19, 20, 59, and 48. Okay, so before we move on to go actually plot this data, we're going to just kind of go up and take a quick look at it, make sure that while we were banging all those numbers in there that we didn't make any mistakes. Okay, not a bad idea to just kind of give a quick visual inspection of your data before you move on. You could have accidentally forgot to hit enter between a couple numbers, or maybe you hit an enter between numbers, something that would just kind of mess up the whole thing there if you didn't notice it. Although when we go to actually do the graph, you may catch it in the graph too. That's another place. But looking good. Looks like we got all the numbers in there correctly. So let's move on and go set up the plot type. Okay, so from here I'm going to go ahead and turn on the show key history so you can see what I'm doing. Alright, so we're going to go second and hit the Y equals to get into the stat plot menu. Now there's up to 3 statistical plots that you can do at the same time on the calculator. We're just going to plot one histogram here, and we're going to do that in plot 1. So to change the settings in plot 1, you hit an enter. And now all of the settings are available for us to change in here. The first thing we're going to change is we're going to make it on instead of off. Then we'll hit a down arrow to get into the next set of criteria for the plot. In particular, we want to go over here and change our plot type from what is currently is a scatter plot to a histogram. And then we're going to hit the down arrow one more time, and we're going to change our X list to be the age list. Now the easiest way to get that is to go ahead and hit second and then hit the stat key. When you do that, you get the names of all the lists that currently reside in the calculator. Our age list is item number 7, so I can just hit the number 7 here, and notice it'll paste it right back in for you. Okay. All right. leave the freak alone, okay? Don't touch the freak. That's a good rule of thumb here. Okay, so we successfully entered our data and we successfully selected the plot type that we want to do. The next thing we have to do is scale our graph paper. Now to do that, the easiest way to do it is to press the zoom key. And if you scroll down here, look at all the different options in the zoom menu, you notice that zoom option number 9 is zoom statistics, okay? That's a very cool option, so we're going to go ahead and select that. In the future, you could have got there by just hitting zoom and the number 9. And you get the following histogram. It's a beautiful histogram. It tells us one thing that we really wanted to know, which is what is the shape of our data. So based upon this histogram, it looks like our data is going to be skewed to the right, okay? Now, it may not be that we want these stock settings that came from TI as our window settings. They may have given us settings that we need to put in. So we're going to go ahead and adjust the window to settings that more likely we would have used to make this graph. So press your window key. We're going to change the X minimum to 15. Now there wasn't any 15s in the data set, but I want to move from 15 to 65 in increments of 5. Okay? So in the language that we've learned in our textbook, the X-min is playing the starring role as the class minimum, X-max is the class maximum, and the X-scale here is the class width. Okay, so you need to adjust those three numbers to get the window you're looking for. Don't have to mess with the Y's. In fact, when we did the zoom 9, that was in many ways to help us set these two numbers, which is the Y-min and the Y-max. Okay? All right, now press graph this time. Okay? When you press graph, you get a distinctly different graph than the last one. In particular, if we press trace now, we notice that in the age class between 15 and 20 years of age, there were 10 students in the class that fell in that class. So this is equal to 15 but less than 20. So this is the 16, 17, 18, 19-year-olds that are in the class. There are 10 of those. Between the ages of 20 and 25, not including 25, there are 13 people in the class in those ages. And between 25 and 30, there are 5 of them. Between 30 and 35, there are 6. Okay? So that's kind of a handy tool. It's very cool that you can actually get the frequency distribution right off of the histogram. Okay, well, that hopefully gets you going on how to do a histogram on your calculator. If you have any additional questions, please do not feel shy about sending an email or putting a request up on my CR.